Hi, my name is Lilian Okibe. Welcome to my channel. So it's been a few weeks since I shared with you guys that my locks were damaged because of box dyes, and if you've been following this series, you've seen everything that has happened so far. How I decided to do henna and indigo, what happened to my locks, all the issues of having dryness and things like that. So in this video, I will be sharing how I was able to get my locks back to being soft and moisturized, and basically what I've learned throughout this whole journey. Let's get into it. In the last episode of this series, I shared that even though I had finally gotten my locks, to a point where I was fine with the color, I had issues with dryness. That my locks were dry and crunchy. The first thing I did was, obviously, I thought just going in to do a wash day would solve the problem, which was what I did. But after that wash day, my locks still did not feel moisturized. When it was wet, it felt like everything was fine. But as soon as it got dry, it became really crunchy and stiff. I even went ahead to apply conditioner on my locks, just leave the conditioner in there in my hair as a moisturizer. When my hair was wet, it felt good, but as soon as it dried, it became crunchy and not as soft as I normally have it, because my locks actually feel quite spongy. That's how they've always been. So yeah, I did that. That seemed like it worked in the moment, but by the next day I realized that it did not work. So what I did that finally worked for me was doing a warm water soak. So it's very similar to how I do a lock detox, but it's just that I use plain water. I'll link a video up in the iCards to show you guys how I do a detox and things like that. But I noticed that as soon as I did that, I did the first time I did 2 rounds of it. So I basically soak my locks in warm water. This helps to remove any residue of the henna and indigo that were still in my locks, and then it also gave my locks time to soak in moisture. Over the years, I realized that when it comes to moisturizing hair, it's not necessarily your products that do the job. You know, it's basically, if your hair gets to a point where it has absorbed enough water, and then you apply some product on there just to keep that feature in your hair for a longer period of time, then you would say your hair is moisturized. So I noticed that as soon as I did the water soak, my locks felt significantly better. So I realized that the reason why my locks were dry wasn't necessarily because the henna had destroyed my hair or had dried out my hair. It was more because with locks, even when you do a wash, if you've done something like, you know, a treatment where you put products in your hair, there's a very high chance that some of those products, little particles of those products, are still stuck in your lock somewhere. So, and that's why when my locks were wet, they felt nice, because the way henna is, it's kind of like mud. So obviously, you know, when mud is wet, it's pliable, it's malleable, it's soft, but as soon as it dries, it becomes stiff. So because I had some particles of all the henna and indigo still in there in my locks, that's why as soon as it dried, it became stiff and crunchy. So when I did the soak, this gave my locks opportunity to remove more of the residue that were in there, and then it also gave my hair time to drink in enough water, so that at the end of that whole process, I was able to get my hair back to normal. So my locks have gotten back to how they've always been. They feel really soft and spongy, which is how they've always been, and I'm so glad. I did 2 rounds of this. So I did it one day, I did 2 rounds the first day, and then I think a few days later I did another round. And one thing I noticed when I did that was the water turned brownish, and so that was a sign. And I also saw some particles, some fine particles of sandy, you know, particles of definitely the blended henna and indigo in the water. So I knew that obviously I still had some of the products in there. That's why my hair was stiff. And as soon as I did the 2 rounds of that, my hair has gotten like really juicy and soft, and basically how it was before I started any of this. So you can give that a try. I'll link the video up in the iCards to show you how I do a detox, the kind of water I use and things like that. So it's basically following everything I shared in that video, minus adding anything to the water, so it's just plain water, and that has really helped me. Going forward, I think regardless of the henna or whatever, I think this is something I'll incorporate into my hair. So instead of conditioners, using conditioners in my hair, I'll just do that water soak. And I find that, you know, I think that's something I'm going to incorporate in my hair, because I've always known that water is medicinal for the human body, but you know, this has proved that even more. So it's something that I'm going to incorporate in my locks going forward. So when it comes to color, one thing I realized is, I know in the beginning, in the last video, I talked about there was a period where I panicked. I was very upset. I did not like the color and things like that. But one thing I've noticed with henna is henna indigo or whatever, and I think this is actually true for many natural things, is that it's a process, it's a journey. You have to trust the process. So in the beginning, when I first did it, I didn't like what it looked like. But as the days went by, it became better and better, and it started to look more natural, and now I like the color. My hair isn't deep black. If you come close, you see that I have, you know, some brownish color in there. But, and I know one of the things I said in my last video was the fact that I got the brownish tint from the sun, which was why I started using box dyes in the first place, to remove that brownish tint. And I felt like I'd gotten back to where I was in the beginning. But what I've noticed over, because it's now been a few weeks since I started this whole process, since I did all of this, and so my locks have settled. They've gotten to, you know, how I think they will remain for the next few months. One thing I realized, comparing the color you get from henna or henna and indigo versus the color you get from sun bleaching, is that sun bleaching, the brown you get from there is more washed out. Meanwhile, the color you get from henna is richer. It has a more reddish tone, and it's more shiny. Like it looks more intentional than what you get from the sun. With the sun, it looks washed out, like your hair is dry, versus with henna, it looks richer. That's the best way I can describe it. And when it comes to the color, I like it. I noticed at the end, because if you watch the beginning when I used the henna, I mostly focused on the ends, and then the leftover was what I applied on the roots. So I noticed that the ends of my locks are lighter, and I actually like how it is. And I also noticed that like when I first go out, it looks a certain color, but as the day progresses, the color kind of changes based on how long I am outside. which is nothing like what I've ever experienced before. So it seems like my hair changes color over the course of the day, which I like. So where is my hair now? So my locks are healthy. Like my locks are completely healthy. They look good, they feel good, they move good, everything is fine, everything is great. I have been able to cut out all the damage from the box dyes, so hopefully it's going to stay healthy going forward. So will I be using henna and indigo again? The answer to that question is I don't know. At this point, my experience with henna and indigo, I would say, even though it was emotionally, it was a roller coaster, it had ups and downs, it was a process, it was a journey. But now that I've gotten to the end of the whole thing, I feel like my experience with henna and indigo has been pleasant. Would I do it again? Maybe, maybe not. So I really like my hair routine now, where I'm not doing too many things to my locks. So I'm not really interested in adding something extra that I have to be doing every now and then, because I really don't have the time. So that's why I'm not saying yes, I'm going to do it again. But if anytime in the future, if I think I need it, I could look into it. But for now, I'm just going to continue to care for my locks how I have always done that, minus using conditioners, because I'll talk about the conditioners later in this video to tell you why I'm going to stop using conditioners in my locks. Will I dye my locks again with box dyes? The answer to that question is a big no. I'm never ever dyeing my locks again. I don't think it's worth it. Looking back now, I feel like I'm glad I had this experience, and I'll tell you why later on in this video. But for now, just to answer that question, no, I'm never going to be dyeing my locks again. So what I've learned from this whole experience is that when your locks are damaged, when something bad happens to your locks, it's not the end of the world. I know it's easy to feel discouraged, and sometimes you could even feel like, oh, let me just cut off all the hair and start afresh, or just end the journey and things like that. But in the midst of the chaos, just try to breathe and calm yourself down. It's not the end of the world. In many cases, there is a solution. You can find a solution to the problem, and even if you don't find a complete solution where you have to cut some of your locks off, that's fine. You get through it, everything will be fine. Another thing I've learned from this experience, and this is particularly when you're using henna, is that it's a process, it's a journey. What you see when you first do it is not going to be the end result, so you have to calm down and be patient with the whole process. For me, I panicked. And I think if it's your first time using henna, it's easy for you to panic when, you know, your results is not what you thought it was going to be. But I would say that if you're, I'm not saying you go and use henna, but if at any point in your life or in your journey you feel that, okay, I want to try this, when you do try it, be patient, understand that it's a process, it's a journey, and just calmly follow the journey along. Then another thing I learned from this whole journey is, when in doubt, water is your friend. Water has been a very crucial part of my lock journey from the very beginning, and yet again in this stage of my life, water is, you know, still very important. Many problems that you face with your locks can be solved with water. So it could be changing the temperature of the water, it could be changing how frequently you water, it could be changing how long your hair get exposed to water. But it's just that water is your friend. Water is a medicine for your body, for your hair, for everything. So this is something I've always known, but going through this experience just amplified this for me, where it's like, I tried everything. I used conditioners, I used oils and things like that. But at the end of the day, water was what did it for me. Water was what brought my hair back to how I like it. Water was what solved the problem with dryness, also with the color as well, because, you know, everything looks nicer when your hair is moisturized. So I think one of the reasons why I've gotten to a point where I like my hair now is because, first of all, because of water, I was able to remove the residue of the henna that was left in my hair. So I was able to remove buildup, which helped the look of the color, and also the water helped my locks to get moisturized. And so when your hair is moisturized, everything looks nicer. So I would say, yeah, water is very important. When in doubt, just add more water. One thing I want you to take from this whole experience, and that I am going to be taking from this whole experience, is that at the end of the day, everything will be fine. Even though in the moment it may look chaotic, but eventually everything will work out. I am really glad I had the dye damage. I'm really glad I went through all the things I went through. I'm really glad I experienced the henna indigo. I had the dryness from it and things like that, because now I am in a better position to be able to help other people who experience things like this. I've had several one-on-one consultations with people who have had issues like this, and even though I have been able to advise them based on my research from studying other people's locks and doing other people's hair, I feel like now that I've experienced it, I am in a better position to give them good advice. I am in a better position to empathize with them. And also, if I had not experienced this myself, I wouldn't have discovered the role of water soaking. You know, because when you experience it, you go out of your way to find a solution to it, and that's why I was able to find a solution. So I'm really glad that everything happened the way it did, and I just hope that those of you who have watched this whole series, I hope that you learned something from my experience. And another thing I want you to take from this is dye is bad. Don't dye your hair. Do not dye your hair. I've said this time and time again in the past, even before I dyed my hair, because this is something, like I said before, this is something I know isn't good. But now that I have experienced it, I'm saying this not as someone who has had years of experience watching other people go through this, but I'm saying this as someone who, in addition to that, I have experienced it myself, so I can tell you that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you do need to dye your hair, if you actually do need to dye your hair, it's better to go with something natural than using chemical dyes. That's my own opinion. I know I've had several comments from you guys talking about how henna damaged your hair, or how you're not a fan of henna and things like that, but for me, I haven't had any negative experience with it, even though it did not necessarily fix the damage of the dye, because I had to cut those locks off. But for the rest of my hair, I feel like using henna actually made it feel stronger. So I don't have anything negative to say about henna, to be honest. Yeah, and I also said I was going to say something about using conditioner. So this whole experience also taught me that conditioners, especially conditioners, most conditioners, to be honest, are made having loose natural hair in mind. This is something I've always known, but over the past few months I started using conditioners in my locks because I started using box dyes, and I felt like, oh, because my locks are mature, I can get away with it, which is something that many people think. But I think that conditioner isn't really the best for locks, and you don't really notice this when everything is fine because it's quite subtle. You don't know what's happening. But if you have damage, that's when you realize that when you put conditioners in your hair, it detangles your hair, because most conditioners are made to help detangle loose hair. So when you put them in your locks, it actually detangles your hair, and locks are tangles. So if something is detangling, it's undoing your locks, and which is damaging to it. I didn't notice this until when I actually did have the dye damage. So every time I put conditioner in my hair, it went into those holes, those spots that were already disintegrating in the locks. It went in there and it just made it looser, made it a little bit more detangled. And so I noticed that the more I used conditioners in my hair, even though it seemed like it was helping my locks feel soft, but it was actually causing more damage to the already damaged locks. Now for the rest of my locks that were fine, it was okay, nothing will happen, it was good. But I noticed it was when I had the damage that I noticed what it actually does, because those areas were already fragile, and so any little changes, it was obvious for me to see, okay, this is what's happening down here, and that's, you know, because of the conditioners. So I'm not saying if you use conditioners and you've not had any issues, I'm not saying, oh, don't use it. I'm just saying be mindful of it. And if you already have damage with your locks, conditioner will not solve the problem. So I hope you guys learned one or two things from this video and from this series. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if this is your first time on my channel and you'd like to see more videos from me, then definitely subscribe. If you would like to have a one-on-one consultation with me for me to give you personalized lock advice, the link to book a consultation will be down in the description box. I also have an online course where I teach people how to get locks that look like mine. So if you want a step-by-step guide on how to achieve locks like this, the link to the course will be in the description box. If you also want to get up close and personal with everything I do to my locks, everything I've been doing to my locks from the beginning up till now, I have a members community here on YouTube. So all you need to do is click the join icon under this video and become a member of my channel to get access to exclusive videos. All the links relating to everything I offer will be in the description box because there are so many. So I can't say everything. But thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.